All right, so speaking of financial losses, I'm gonna shift over from Spotify to Meta Inc. And yes, there are some financial concerns right now for Meta Inc., at least regarding their VR division. And it's a bit strange considering that Meta has really invested in acquiring companies that have specialized in VR headsets, especially whether it's like Oculus or I think HTC. I doubt HTC, but definitely they've always invested a lot of money in Oculus for their headsets and VR games as well. So that's a weird thing. And I have the numbers regarding the money that have come in for them. Like in 2022, they've made a revenue of $116 billion and with a net income of 23 billion. But that's 41% down year on and year to year numbers. And fourth quarter alone of last year, they only had a revenue of $32 billion with a net income of $4.6 billion, which is 54% down year on year. So that's a weird thing. And the Reality Labs revenue has only made like $2.1 billion. And so the fourth quarter revenue alone is like $727 million, which is 17% down. Now, look, of course, I know what you're thinking. That's still a lot of money. Like, there's no way that sounds like huge losses, making millions and billions of dollars. Like, that's no big deal with all that tech and VR divisions and metaverse and whatever, but it's kind of weird. But I mean, Meta's AR VR Reality Labs division posted an operating loss like nearly $14 billion a year. So, but more like precisely 13.7 billion. So that's still a bit strange. And when you compare to 2021, I mean, they lost like $10.2 billion just by itself. So there are some concerns there. I mean, Meta did buy Oculus VR firm for $2 billion, like in 2014, and then they purchased the VR studio Beat Games in 2019 and VR fitness startup app around that same month. So, I mean, like I said earlier, they've really invested a lot into that kind of technology. But I mean, like even the CFO Susan Lee said that they expect financial losses even more from Reality Labs throughout the year of 2023, considering all that kind of effort that were made to invest. And maybe throughout the decade, their efforts could pay off. But I mean, it just like based on the projections, it just does not seem like it will for the time being. But only time will tell if that can change.